Hey there, Hitchhikers, mindlessbile here, and we're back for a special episode of No Man's Sky, episode 13. I am testing out my new video editing software, which is Filmora, recommended to me by Diginex, one of my YouTube friends, who gave me a special shout out today, and I'd like to give a personal thanks. I should be doing an actual webcam channel update soon, and I'll give a more appropriate one then, but until then, the definite thanks to Diginex for giving me some special attention on her channel. And I wish her luck, because she seems to be doing pretty well. Now, I did this quick little video here. It kind of shows some space combat, both in atmosphere and out of atmosphere. This battle here, I intentionally tried to run away. That is why I came back down to the planet. But apparently the bad guys can follow you down to the planet, and you can do an atmospheric battle. And I actually won this battle. I couldn't believe it, because I did a terrible job of winning it. I was almost like Mugen from Samurai Champloo. I only won because I had so little skill that I don't think the AI of the game knew how to deal with me very well. I mean, at certain points you see me flying upside down here, and if it wasn't for the fact that you can't crash the ship into the ground, I fully believe that I would have crashed the ship into the ground. But, two, I also got very lucky because I was able to get on these guys' ass. Normally they warp into a system and I got no idea where the heck they're coming from, and they kind of start the predator-prey chase where I'm the prey and I can't spin around or don't know how to maneuver the ship and use the left and right banking properly to be able to maneuver quick enough to try to get behind them, so I'm usually on the running end of the battle. But in these next two battles I'm going to show you, I'm actually on the, kind of the upper hand and following them. Well, most of the time, maybe not in this part here, but not only that, I also kind of noticed for the first time, I've never played any type of flight simulation games. Like the last time I played a game that was flying that wasn't Grand Theft Auto, which really doesn't involve any actual combat in the flying, at least not too often. The last time I played a game that involved flying was Desert and Jungle Strike for the Sega Genesis. So it's been a pretty long time, and that was a top-down kind of game anyway, so it really wasn't a flight simulator. So I just kind of finally realized in these two fights here that I am in fact shooting for the reticule that is away from the ship. I kind of assumed that why the reticule was not on the ship itself, because you're shooting where the ship is going to be, like old school video games, asteroid kind of thing. But I never played these kind of games before, and now you just kept on shooting at the ship and basically only getting the hits when the ship's coming at me head on. And that was kind of working for me. I mean, it wasn't getting killed all the time, but I finally realized how to do that. And secondly, I kind of noticed that you can repair your shield inside of your inventory, which kind of cheapens the battles that I can just kind of... I mean, you don't pause when you go into your inventory screen. You're still getting shot and the battle's still raging on. And once again, if it wasn't for the fact that the ship won't crash, you wouldn't be able to do that. You would die. And I'll also note that atmospheric combat and zero-G combat are basically the same exact feel. I suppose the developers didn't want to have to make two different types of combat, and I suppose that's why you don't crash, and you know why it's so easy to maneuver on land, because it's just the same system for both inside and outside of a planet's atmosphere. But this is a pretty lengthy battle. I get pretty messed up here, rolling around in circles, and like I said, now you can actually see my CPU here. It's got up to 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's what my computer was automatically set on. So I left the door open, or the door closed on my little shelf where I keep the tower. I usually open it up when I play games because it's hot here this time of the year. But yeah, I believe the battle's almost over. We got one guy left. I think we'll get him here shortly. But I mean, I couldn't believe I won against 4 ships, and doing so terribly that I won against 4 ships. I was pretty well excited about that. And I even get a little milestone here. The first milestone I actually liked. This is one of the few things that all the people complaining about this game I agree with. I'm sick and tired of these journey milestones. It's the only thing that I'm sick and tired of this game. I mean, I know it's like, oh, you know, I achieved something, whatever, but you can't do much of anything when they're happening other than walk around. And it's the beginning of the game, you get so many of them. Now here bouncing back and forth before I went down to the planet Eros for the first time. My buddy was over and I was actually just showing him the game, and just happened to hit the record button on before these ships came. And these guys just, once again, they bust out right in front of me, giving me the upper hand on the battle basically, allowing me to really nail one before they even break off into different patterns. Yeah, see, right about here is when I start to realize that's the right thing to do, shooting at that other reticle. Like I said, I never played Star Fox or anything like that. I've never played any flight simulation games. But I will note on the recent Grand Theft Auto, I completed all the challenges, at least before all the downloads and multiplayer stuff came out, because I usually don't play multiplayer stuff. But just the original game itself, I did complete all the flying lesson achievements and got everything done that could possibly done with them. But it took me a very long time and a lot of practice. And really, all the game's controls are so different, you really can't be good at one game, flying game, and just jump into another. But I'm really enjoying the space combat now that I kind of got a little bit of a gooder feel. I just got to kind of work on my maneuverability. And I will also say that earlier, before the game was released, they talked about how there'd be dire consequences if you lose your ship. If you died in your ship, you know, you would lose your ship. And like you've seen in my previous videos, that's obviously not the case anymore. They changed that. Once again, I kind of think it cheapens it, but at the same time, it makes the game playable, because any novice would be losing their ship constantly. And if you just lose your good ship and then had to buy some dinky one that you can afford because you lost the one you saved up for, and then you just keep on getting taken out by pirates, it could probably make the game, for the most part, unplayable. Like I said, I just don't like this going into the inventory to redo the shields. I wish it would just regenerate itself if I can just stay out of their line of fire for a while. But I guess if it wasn't for the fact that you could recharge, I wouldn't have survived these battles. They would have took me out a long time ago. Pretty soon here we alert the sentinels. Now, I don't know if I accidentally shot one of the ships, or if I accidentally shot the space station, or if the pirates themselves brought out the sentinels, but they do start shooting on me. And I pretty much run away after the battle. I kind of stopped the video before that happens, but I do pretty much run away from the sentinels, because they just keep on coming from what I hear. But that's about it, Hitchhikers. Just wanted to test out this new video editor and try to make sure I can get the 1080p formatting properly, and wanted to thank Diginex for giving me a shout out and giving me the suggestion for this software. I did get the $30, and I'm surprised that it was £30 for her and $30 for me, that there was no price difference. I thought there was a difference in our currencies, but either way, Hitchhikers, this is all I got for you. So stick your thumb out and subscribe if you want to hitch a ride with me, Mindless Bile, to the center of the galaxy.